shipping, toxicity, distress, and more. Cartoon fandoms are full of dramas, and I will tell you in this 10 toxic fandoms who it was.
You see why that's funny, right?
No.
Most people think Ben 10 is more chill than most other fandoms, but people got really defensive over their favorite islands and series. There used to be a time where Omniverse and reboots were almost completely hated by the fans base before being appreciated later and maintained that okay, he is strong, but he can solo the entire cartoon universe. Why people have the constant need for Ben to be unbeatable in debates, I think it's due to Island is and how popular of a topic he is in versus debate in general, as well as the admittedly questionable Death Battle episode. Ben 10 stand are at best at Goku stand.
You know, it didn't taste as bad as I thought it would.
Sometimes the all-home fandom can be toxic, whether it's over LGBT representations, blaming Dana and her team for the show being cut short, or criticizing the character for no reason. The fandoms hate issue. Shipping everything get particularly toxic. If you ship lust or opposites with any other than its others, that's a flame war waiting to happen. Too many people accuse others of being homophobic if they don't like the show. There are many amazing aspects of the show, but they often get overshadowed. Personally, I don't get mad at the representation. I get mad that it seems like that's the only thing people like or care about in the show. If lunacy wasn't a thing, people wouldn't have cared nearly as much about it. The amazing digital circus is super popular, so it has attracted a lot of content fans. The YouTuber cast the character and make the content fan video full of sexual stuff and other things just to catch younger children watching it. It's so annoying that even the creator had to speak out about it. A tweet from the creators broke my heart. Maybe you shouldn't follow your dreams. I feel bad for her honestly. She had to constantly deal with creeps making weird content. You can see the passion that had been put into this series and the love the creator had for it. It must be such a letdown to deal with.
I like this.
There is a lot of shipping war between Storm and Star, Face, Marco and Star. The show never should have been about the ship. It should have been about Star growing up, having responsibility and developing her character, not all about who would get together first. I think the ending really hurt the show's reputation. The bad writing in the last season and the focus on shipping were major issues. Season 4 feels especially gross, though it's not the worst ending ever. Game of Thrones hold the titles. When the show ends with Star and Marco, things got out pants. Telling somebody to kill themselves or that you wish they were dead is absolutely not okay. This is not how you talk to another person.
When I'm lonely, I become hungry.
As fans of Hello Boss, I find the show fans to be very annoying on occasion. Sometimes they make Hello Boss feel like Coco Melons for actually 14 years. The fandom often create drama, choosing every issue like it's the end of the world and demonize VC Pop, the creator. The ways every time a new episode or teasers or editing drops, there's so many people that don't accept the creator creative decision and harass the show staff about episode taking too long. Also, creepy ship, such as people shipping Starlux with his literal daughters. The idea that people ship Starvia made me almost glad that climate change is going to end the world.
I'm not sure, but I bet it's Keith's fault.
Quick summary, the fandom constantly argues over representation and which characters were gay, essentially chasing away anyone who wasn't focused on the issues. When the show ends without confirming any of their headcanon, they lost their mind and began ranting about how the show betrayed them. I remember when people were sending death threats to the creator over the shipping in that show. It was wild. A voice actor reported that they and their families had received death threats in response to an interview question about shipping. When one of the show producers announced their appearance at San Diego Comic-Con, Ari Shipper threatened to break her hand at the event so she couldn't write anymore. Fortunes really managed to go through every fandom drama possible throughout the time it was airing.
This is whining. Ooh, this harness is too tight.
Good direct show at top, but one of the worst fun space I have ever seen in my life. The sexualization of My Little Pony is pretty bad. There were a lot of romance growing arc of characters that many of the show's target demographics little girls stumbled upon and were scared for life. Not to mention, there were actually people preying on young children within the fandoms. As much as I look back fondly on the nice and wholesome aspect of the fandom, it's important to note that many involved were creepy artists doing creepy things.
No need to apologize, Clyde. Tough guys let it all out.
The Loud House is a completely innocent kids show about huge families, but I have seen a lot of weird content, including comics. Whenever you enter a fandom where the main characters are siblings or cousins, you know it's going to get unholy.
And what is that about, like a brother-sister crime-fighting duo?
What really killed this fandom is all the content about Lincoln hooking up with one of his sisters. This the longest fanfic ever written in the Loud House prevent, looking at roughly about 31 million words. The site even gave up counting and relies on a base equation and got stuck at 16 million.
Something doesn't feel right about this.
They have calmed down since the show ends, but they used to be really nasty. I will always remember when the Steven Universe fandom sent too many bad reviews to one poor hotel because it shared a name with a hotel on the show. The reviews were little joke about the episode, but they sound like real complaints and tanked the hotel rating. It was super embarrassing and friends. In 2011, a child who suffered from cancer asked the Make-A-Wish Foundation to let her watch a few Steven Universe episodes earlier. Her wish was granted and she was allowed to watch the episode and given permission to discuss it online. Popular Steven Universe YouTuber proceeded to bully and harass the child on Twitter. But the most notorious case is when they sent abuse and death threats to artists for daring to draw gross skinny, which wasn't intentional, it was just their art style. I mean, they created 40 blogs dedicated to a fan artist and harassed her. Even after destroying her mental health, the Steven Universe fandom refused to back down and continued to harass her. Though this was in 2015, so I'm sure it's been top, but it was just so unnecessary and really opened my eye to how messed up fandom can get. Before going to number 1, if you want to see more videos about rankings and animation, please hit subscribe button and turn on notification bell.
What did you say to me?
I have to think a lot about which is the worst fandom between Rick and Morty and Steven Universe, and although Rick and Morty is one of my favorite animated shows, I still have to admit that the Rick and Morty fandoms can be really toxic. Many call Rick and Morty the smartest fandom and a joke because some people think you need to have a super heightened intelligence to understand the joke. However, many of the themes and concepts in Rick and Morty were explored years ago by Futuramas. I have never seen a fandom harass fast food worker for not having a specific style of saw before, so that was something. It's like the greatest 40 seconds you will ever see.
I'm Tickle Rick! 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 I'm Tickle Rick! Rick! Rick!
What the heck?